Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. All the stuff we did not get to during the course of the show today. I wish, and I know it's kind of a big wish, but I wish I had people in my life that would help me not do the intrusive thoughts that I have sometimes.
Not do the intrusive thought.
Like I'll have the intrusive thought and then I do it. And I wish I had people in my life that loved me enough to speak truth and go, hey, I don't know if this is a good idea. But I don't at all, anywhere around me.
We need to create a button that I can hit. That is a audio representation of me rolling my eyes. I don't know what that's going to sound like, but we need it.
So we talked about this yesterday, how I sent that text to my daughter about, hey, would you go,
your death?
Yeah, would you go in and get a procedure for stem cells for my cancer? You know, because I wanted to see what her reaction was. Like this little kid for his dad was like, yeah, when do we go? And little kids are terrified of stuff. My daughter's 26. And so I was telling this on the Aftercast yesterday, and if you already listened to it, you've heard it, and you heard that no one said anything like, hey, it's not a good idea. What?
It was more the timing.
What?
So I go out with some friends last night. We're having dinner at their house. I'm retelling this story, and I'd forgotten I hadn't told my wife yet. And so I'm telling my wife for the first time with my friends, and they're all aghast. Because they know that Haley has like issues with medical things and like her parents, and they. I think I was judged. I think I was judged harshly. And I had no idea that was even remotely a problem. You know. Do you have anything to say for yourself, Rock, for not helping me out yesterday?
Do you feel guilt?
Not at all. Not even close. You have to answer for your own mistakes.
I do, and I will.
What do you think her heart felt like? Like, do you think that
Haley,
do you think in the moment it was a quick little...
Yeah, oh yeah.
My dad.
Yeah, she does that. And God bless her for doing that. Like, that means she loves me. It's like when my wife tells me to take my heart medicine. I'm like, all right, you still care. That's good. I'll take that. I need to know I'm loved all the ways I can.
That's how insecure he is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And is it a little Machiavellian? Probably.
Oh, it's manipulative.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. That's just
it's weird.
Love is love, though.
Exactly.
Which is not a good sentence.
That was weird for you.
For Christian media. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go.
I don't believe that phrase. I don't believe that phrase.
Okay.
Sorry.
So anyway, yesterday was weird for me with my friends at dinner. Because again, like Betty, you'll always talk about how I will put out my low light reel and the things that I share, the things that I'm like would make people uncomfortable more so than the good things that I've done, you know? And so I think that was an example of that last night, because I think I wanted to get people's reaction to see if they thought it was out of bounds. And it turns out how many of us are there? There's Gavin, Betty, Dave, Wendy, Marty, and me. So that's 6 people. Okay. So out of those 6 people, Gavin, where do you land? Was this like crazy, manipulative, weird? Okay.
I mean, like, just a hint, but like you were doing it for the joke.
Sure.
Not if you were actually doing it to like find out if your daughter loved you.
Yeah, like I had Munchausen syndrome or something.
If you were an actual psychopath with that, then, but no, it was funny.
Okay, so Betty out, my wife out, Dave, Wendy out. So it's 4-2.
Out?
Yeah, they were both like, oh, dude, I don't know, man.
Weak sauce.
Like even Dave, I'm like, Dave, really? Like, come on, man, bro code. But yeah, so if it's 4-2. That in percentages, that's
33%.
Not bad.
Not
like,
bad.
Right? Is it?
Do you feel like it, quote unquote, didn't land though? If it's 2-6, did that joke
did it
altogether not land? Even though, to a degree, if one person finds it hilarious, it's kind of worth it.
It kind of lands, yeah. It's a game of inches in comedy.
Can I read something to you?
What did you ask ChatGPT?
I said, what's the psychology behind why someone would start a conversation with someone new by highlighting all the bad things they've done in their life to be funny? Self-deprecation as a social shortcut.
Yeah.
This can help reduce the other person's anxiety about being judged, which is especially useful in new conversations. People sometimes open with their flaws or mistakes to lower the stakes of the interaction.
Absolutely.
Highlighting past mistakes is a funny way is also a boundary test. If the other person laughs, it signals they're receptive to humor and honesty. By leading with their bad stuff, a person is essentially saying you can't use this against me if I own it first.
I think for me, it honestly is sizing up people comedically where they land. Are you going to be similar to me? That's what, because I'll tell like the horrible story of something.
Yeah, but you'll do this even in a serious situation. So it's not like you need to know where their humor is in a serious situation, but you still do it.
Well, no, it's more than I think what I mean is I'm using comedy to size them up as a person. So like if they go, oh, they have that reaction like, oh, that's wrong, but they still think it's funny, then I go, okay, cool. Like we're going to be friends. We're on the same page kind of thing. But if they're like aghast and clutch your pearls, you're like, oh yeah, we're probably not going to hang out. You know what I mean?
I guess
think that's why
I can still get that. I can still feel someone out without having to highlight all my horrible things.
Maybe the problem is the horrible, the quote, let's do air quotes, the air quote horrible things that I've done, I think are funny. So like while somebody else might think they're horrible, I'm not putting out my low light reel. To me, it's a highlight reel. So maybe that's the problem. It's the perspective of it. That just hit me right now in that moment. That you're sending all your worst stuff that you've ever done out there, and I'm like, some of my best work.
That's something to be worried about.
Yeah, maybe so.
To talk to someone about.
Maybe so.
No.
I don't know.
I don't know. Depends on the thing, too. I mean, like that text to your daughter, not that bad.
No, I don't think so.
Like, genuinely, probably not that bad. And maybe
she'll be fine.
Maybe someday when
She'll be fine.
Maybe someday when my kid actually has feelings they can talk about, maybe I'll say something different. But also, I don't know, like, how did that really negatively impact her?
Right.
Other than for a split second.
Yeah. And then you think of how good you feel when it's not true. I've always thought that.
And she said yes.
Yeah,
so
that was my big thing.
Now you literally, you don't have to ask that question in the future when you need her help like that.
I know. And I told her I'm going to save this response and I'm going to bring it up to you.
Now that
again
could also be manipulation.
Sure. But I need some stem cells, someday. So you're going to be good for them. Gavin, how's your heart today?
It's been
not emotionally.
Oh no, literally.
Because we've destroyed that.
Yeah, that's fine. But it started. I haven't had an energy drink for 2 days.
Oh,
now.
You're just on withdrawals then.
It could be withdrawal. But there's generally you get the healthy little like pinch in your heart that like lets you know you're alive.
Yeah.
But like it's kind of been pinching for a couple hours today.
Okay.
So
I thought you'd had too many, and that's why you're having
No. I've only had the 1.5 cups of coffee today.
Oof.
Just because I was like, oh, let's just like, I need something.
Okay.
I can't not have coffee.
Yeah.
Or something. But yeah, it's been pinching for a couple hours in a way that my wife has said, she's like, I wouldn't mind if you like went somewhere if it gets to a point where if you feel uncomfortable. If it happens like once every couple hours, you're like, okay, we're fine. Kind of like a joke. Like for her, that's like if it's at a point now where I'm like, okay, I probably should go just get looked at just in case.
Yeah, and I
probably shouldn't mess with
and
it.
I don't go. Like today I have a thing when I had some dental work done and it's annoying my tongue, so I brought sandpaper in and I'm going to take care of it.
I need to do that for you too.
And Betty is like, you what? Just go into the dentist. I'm like, it'll be a pain. I can do it here. I just need to sand down the edge real quick. And so I need someone to shoot the video for me. But like, I think I'll be that guy that like has a heart attack or something and is the guy that's like, it's not that bad. It's fine. It'll go away. It'll pass. I think that's how I'm going to go.
Well, and I would generally say that I generally think that too.
Yeah.
I'm also like 29 and I feel like I should be able to just push past that.
Mm-hmm.
But I do not want to be that guy also who said he thought he could push it past it and dies.
I had a time when my wife was out of town and my daughter was gone, so I was staying by myself, and I thought I was having a heart attack. It was the worst my chest has ever felt, and I couldn't move. I was just locked up in my bed. I'm like, oh, this is bad. Okay, well, this is how it's going to end. Like, I'm trying to think of, okay, do I call an ambulance and stuff? And I was close to calling an ambulance. Like, I was real close. And I'm like, but there's no way. Like, it doesn't make sense. I'm having these symptoms, but they don't make sense. And then I found out later it was like this massive case of like indigestion kind of thing.
Heartburn is a
like
monster.
because I had a Steak and Shake butter burger, one of the garlic butter burgers. And do you know how I realized that that's what it was? Because I did it again, but this time under controlled circumstance when people were home, and so I survived. And somebody else had told me that day, they're like, yeah, I thought I was having a heart attack too, and it was indigestion. I'm like, oh, that's what happened to me. So I'm like, okay, good. But then I still tested it and had another butter burger like a couple weeks later. Same thing happened. I mean, it destroyed my chest. And so again, very controlled experiment that I did.
At least it was your chest and not another like diarrhea situation.
You know what? I don't want to talk about those anymore. Those are
thank God.
Shout out Disney.
I know that was a bad one. This was a thing. Like, we went through a lot of turmoil in our country this last couple weeks, man. There's been a lot of anger and hate and violence and stuff like that. And you tend to think that, okay, that's where we are, you know? And like, you watch the story of that guy driving his truck into a church and then setting it on fire. And it was just, I mean, shooting people, just crazy. But then you come across stories like this that I think are far more indicative of how the world truly is. The other stories get the headlines, but these are the ones that are more common but don't get talked about. There was this lady that she was hit by a car. She was on the sidewalk on like her bike and got hit, and it was a hit and run. The SUV hit her, then took off running. So that's the bad part of the story, you know. But then she was like, all I could think about were, where are my legs? They wouldn't move. I'm coughing up blood. You know, it was coming out of my mouth. Like, she's like, I'm messed up. People from a nearby business saw what was happening. They all jumped in. And she said, the one thing that stuck with me was hearing them say, we're not going to leave you. We're going to stay here with you. And sometimes, as an amateur first responder, if you don't have all of the tools, sometimes just comforting somebody is enough until I get there or an actual first responder. Like, if I'm an amateur first responder and you're like an amateur first responder, then yeah, just
there's
like
two different levels.
Yeah, it's a lower level.
First degree, second degree.
Exactly, like black belts in the health industry. And so, yeah, so if you're like a yellow belt in essence, yeah, just stay there and comfort them until one of us gets there. But yeah, in all seriousness, like, that actually does help keep people calm, because they can panic, and when you start to panic, that's when things get really bad. And she said they stayed with her till the paramedics arrived. They took her to UC Medical Center. Turns out she had no broken bones or fractures.
After getting hit by a
SUV, and her saying, I'm spitting up blood, and I feel like I couldn't feel my legs, and the doctors were like, yeah, she had bumps and bruises. I think she might have been a little dramatic, but doctors see so much bad stuff. They're like, it's a bump and a bruise, and your arm could be like severed, and they're like, yeah, it's not that bad. Like, they have a different scope for bad.
Yeah, because like, I would say our accident last year, bumps and bruises, like nothing. No broken bones.
Your accident was bad, though. I mean, his car got hit from behind and flipped.
Yeah.
That was a big one.
But that's getting hit by the vehicle.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Was she like...
She was on a bike.
She was on a bike. Like, that's out in the open.
That's a miracle that she didn't have any broken bones.
I know we had a family... Well, not mine, but Haley had a family member whose daughter did get hit by a truck. Like, like literally riding her bike down the road. And it was bad.
Yeah, you walked away from that unscathed, and your wife was pregnant at the time, too. Like, there were so many miracles inside of that it was just crazy. But it's still, you guys had to make that same drive. Again, did you go a different route, or did you make the same drive?
The first time, we went around. Now we're back to we're back to normal. So that's been
good.
What, a year and 6 months now?
Reclaim it. You got to get back up on that horse. You can't let it own you.
But like this woman, I wonder for her, like, will she ride bikes again?
I know. I hope
I'd be nervous too.
At least in that sidewalk. I look at a lot of things like, it's just, I look at the odds of things.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because your thing that happening once, the odds of that are already a lot.
Yeah, so insane.
But the odds of that happening twice in that same spot, kind of thing, because like, that's what your head does. Your head gets you all nervous, like, oh, what if it happened again? But the sad thing is there's weird irony in the world, and sometimes like lightning strikes twice, and you're like, what in the world? But like, you have to know the odds of that are really low. Like, when I went skydiving for the first time, I made a joke with the skydive instructors. and I said, who was the last guy that, like, how long ago did you have to cut away your parachute? Where your parachute gets tangled and you have to take a knife and cut it away. And so now you have nothing and you hit your reserve chute and hopefully your reserve chute opens. And so this guy, Mad Dog, which, okay, nicely done. Mad Dog was like, what time is it? And I go, it's like 4 o'clock. He goes,
later.
3 o'clock.
Oh.
I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, the last jump earlier today, I had to cut away. And I'm like, you're my man. You and I are going.
Because he got it out of the way.
Got it out of the way. The odds of that happening twice in the same day was just astronomical, or too much for God to resist. And fortunately, it was astronomical and I survived it, you know? So.
You think God's up there like, what if I just did this twice?
I don't know. Like, I would hope. We always talk about how involved he is in everything. And, like, we all have a sense of humor, so we're made after God's own image. There's times that I think, like, it says, do not test the Lord thy God. Like, there's times that I think, just as he can bless you with something, you know, there's times I think that you can tempt him or test him, and he can be like, I'm not going to let that happen like you want it to happen, you know?
But then at the end of the day, too, it's like it's so inconsequential to him.
Yeah.
If you tested his little will on, you know, a second parachute, he's like, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know.
But I would love it if he was, I would love to learn that God is a little bit of a jokester in some ways, too.
I need that.
When he's like, like every time I couldn't find, like, the sock, it's like God was like, disappeared, right?
Yeah. I'm going to need God to have a good sense of humor for when I get there. And then hopefully he'll be like, yeah, you know that, remember that thing with Haley, that text? Dude, that killed me. And I'm like, oh, good, I'm in the right place. No. Do you got any birthdays, Lady Rock?
I do. Josiah, he wants to wish his daughter Maya a happy birthday. Nice. Or maybe Mia. I'm not sure. Maya or Mia. But happy birthday either way. He said, the sweetest 1-year-old, empathetic, but a lot of sass, and always wants to be in the middle of mom and dad.
Oh, that's a good thing. I hope that stays for you because that's the best.
Question from Cole. What is the worst thing that has happened during your career in radio? The worst thing.
Oh, I mean, there's different kinds of worst. You know, there's losing your job worst. There's getting beaten up worse. There's death threat worse.
Oh my gosh.
I probably have longer in the game and in mainstream radio, so I have longer than you guys have. So I probably have a lot more worse. Mm-hmm. What was the worst thing I did to you, Betty?
Oh.
Because like I used to pick on Betty really hard, just as a joke.
I was going to leave you out of it. I was going to say.
Oh, thank you. What was your worst then? Let's leave me out of it.
That time that I was telling about an accident with a death on one of our main interstates back when I was doing traffic.
Yeah.
And I was adjusting my microphone and I said something like, "There's a casualty on 65," and you hear the microphone hit the floor. And I said, "Oh crap!"
Oh,
and you could hear it though from a distance.
Yeah,
and that was an accidental situation. Thankfully, I didn't lose my job. My boss did come back there, Connie, and he was like, "What happened?" I explained what happened. He was like, "Oh, well, just make sure it doesn't happen again."
Yeah.
I'm like, "I'm so sorry. That was a bad day."
Yeah,
that was a rough day.
You haven't had too many bad things.
just the early one. Like whenever I was
hurt your finger.
No,
when we did board cutting karate boards, like when you first got here.
That didn't even actually hurt. I think that was just for the bit.
Okay.
But it was like the getting yelled at by you.
Oh yes.
And that coincided with like that one time that my phone didn't charge and it died, and I got into the studio.
Yeah.
And I did get the studio set up.
Yeah.
3 minutes before the show.
Yeah.
Like, put a best of in, Betty.
Yep, that was a bad day for Gavin.
Good day though.
That was your best worst day in work. But I've had those come to Jesus meetings too. Like I had to have them when I was young as well, and I've had my job threatened before and things like that, and it made me. It's kind of the character of a man. When you find the limit, when you find the mess, and then what do you do with it? Do you come back and do you like redeem yourself, and which you did, And now you're a fantastic producer, and like you're always like earlier today, I was like, hey, Gavin, he's in the other room, not tinkling. He was working in the other room, and I'm treating you well. And I'm like, we need that cut of audio, and I look over, he's already got it up there. You know, it's like because your job, I was explaining your job to somebody recently, and I'm like, his job is to be in my head. His job is to be anticipating what I'm gonna think I need and give me options, and you do it great, you know. And Betty Rock's job is to provide a balance to some of my
stellar
insanity, and it helps me be more likable too. You know, when she does that, and she does that so great. You know, and I truly enjoy working with you guys. With that being said,
well, no, but do you have, like you said, you have a lot of the worst. Like, can you think of one that does stand above the rest for you?
Yeah, probably the one that I got people fired for and got my wife mad at me for, like one of the 5 times she's been gut level mad at me for a bit that I did that was inflammatory and not in Christian radio. But that one I feel bad about. Like that one I was like, there were a couple bits early on where we would mess with people, kind of like prank show stuff, and there were a couple bits where we went too far, or there were a couple people that like I worked with that I stepped on because they were in my way, and they were seen as a problem to me getting to where I wanted to get, and I was young and hungry, and I didn't go around them, I went over them, you know, and so I definitely have things from my radio past. Like, the stories I tell, I think, are funny. You know, those are kind of funny ones. But, like, there are definitely things that I have from that I'm like, yeah, I'm not proud of that at all. And I'm so thankful. I literally had this conversation with God the other day because I was driving in, and one of my old bits came up on my iPhone, and because it was from an old demo, and it was just on loop, and so it came up, and it made me uncomfortable. And I was like, I stopped for a second, and I'm like, man, God, thank you that I'm not in that world anymore and doing that anymore, because it was how I made a living. And I was really, I didn't even listen to the bit. I couldn't listen to it anymore. And I was really glad that I'm not in that place anymore. So it turned into gratitude. So there you go.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Betty, are you okay today?
You're so genuine.
You good today? You don't seem good today.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. I found a cute little.
She's been watching like otters.
Oh,
or
they
something.
have a live camera that's set up in an otters exhibit. So you see little otters.
You're cracking your chest.
My wife,
open.
I know, and she's like, oh, my wife will not acquiesce to getting an otter.
Heard that yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only.
How much?
Oh, we got to see Zach yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Potties.
It was good to see Zachary and his wife. They're doing well. They're living in Ohio now.
Anna's 10 years old, believe it or not.
Anna Banana. She's so funny.
She's probably as tall as Gavin and Wally, too.
Yeah, she's getting there.
Thanks for not letting it be just me.
Idea.
Whoa.
How much does an otter cost?
Where it is legal.
Okay, where? I need to know.
Yeah. I might have to.
It's got to be Tennessee.
I might have to
legal.
ask that.
No, it's not. I looked into it. I wanted a raccoon, and it's not legal.
How can you not own a raccoon in Tennessee?
Just don't tell people.
So,
I know.
The price can range from $3,000 to $15,000 per otter, depending on species, source, and legality. But the real cost is much higher when you factor in specialized housing, diet, veterinary care. Yeah, where do you go to the vet?
Yeah.
That's a tough
one. You got
to
kind of have a pool for them, too, because, I mean, they're water creatures. You got to have, like, a thing other than just a blow-up baby pool. That's not kind.
And, like, their diet's probably got to be solid. Fish. A lot of fish.
Yeah, mollusks.
Okay, searching the web.
Yeah, like, I know there's a lot of problems with it, but boy, when they snuggle you.
Well, right now, there's a couple of them in this exhibit, and they were playing with a little hand towel, like a dish towel type thing. They just threw it on the water, and they're playing with
They say that they're super social, and the thing about them is, I think they're kind of like that animal that mates for life, and like they're
and they have little pebbles that they keep.
They're they need a lot of attention. So if you're a cat person, this is not, an otter is not for you, because cats are great because they're self-reliant for so much. But like otters need you to be there. The other day, Betty, I was standing by Betty, and she's like, I'm just standing there like staring at her. She's like, do you need something? I'm like, I need you to pay attention to me. She's like, I am working. I am trying to get something done. I'm like, I just needed you to hear something I wanted to say that was funny.
And it probably wasn't even funny to begin with.
It wasn't. I just needed attention. All right, so $3,000 to $15,000
so
and a pool.
So you can do it in Tennessee.
Oh,
Tennessee is where it's legal, where otter...
I'd settle just to go find one.
Where it is permitted, well, we were told a couple years ago that there were otters in a little pond near our workplace.
We went and looked.
I still don't believe
that.
Yeah,
we went and looked.
You have to obtain the necessary permits and licenses. Often includes an exotic animal permit.
No, that's
wildlife
that sounds
possession license.
That sounds Tiger King.
Otter King.
I'm going to be Otter King.
You have to submit detailed forms, pay associated fees.
You wouldn't do all that.
Undergo inspection of the purposed housing facility.
Oh, yeah, I'm already out. That's a pain.
They might require a home visit to ensure the enclosure meets size and safety standards.
Oh, my gosh. No one that owns an otter does this. I watch people on TikTok all the time. They have a blow-up plastic baby pool. Like, look at my otters. Like, there's no one's doing that.
It's the video that says,
yes.
Yeah, the video is like, the man was rowing his canoe in the Alaskan River. And when a cute otter came up to him, the otter kept following, so he took it home.
Exactly. And they're like, I saved its life. No, you stole it from its wife, probably, you know. But they're like, yeah, so I saved it, so I don't have to do all this other stuff. I didn't go buy an otter. That is the Nate Bargatze tiger bit. You know, it's like going to buy a tiger.
Here we go.
It is pretty funny.
I honestly, I love Nate Bargatze, but when it comes to you retelling his jokes, that's even better.
Yeah, I know. It's the good stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Otter enclosure. I'm going down this. A suitable enclosure should be large, at least 75 square feet, approximately 75 square meters, 800 square feet. I've lived in that before. Yeah. Let's see. Deep water, almost 5 feet deep is what they recommend.
Oh, well, yeah.
Must include varied land areas for digging. You have to let them dig, forage, rest, and then secure tops and in-ground fencing. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
They're carnivores.
Yeah.
Costly diet, 20% of their body weight daily. Same. You can do some veggies. They're social creatures, so you should get more than one.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So you're like $30,000 in just on the otters alone.
It's not worth it. You got to go get one out of the wild like they do at SeaWorld.
It's a business.
Exactly. We rescued them.
Good job.
All right, so we're going to end the Aftercast today with Nate Bargatze and his tiger bit. With him telling it and not me. Okay. I might be able to tell it with him. Let's see.
Oh, no. You're going to ruin it.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, boy. Don't make me hit the screen.
60 Minutes did this whole undercover report, and they filmed like where this guy keeps tigers, and then they interviewed him afterwards. They're like, hey, do you think it's too easy to buy a tiger in this country?
He's like,
and he was like, yeah, sadly it is. It's way too easy. And I was like, that was my favorite part. You know, like that shows why America's the best. I didn't even know you could buy tigers before I watched this. I would have been embarrassed to ask. And then I watched it, and I was like, I don't really have to jump through hoops if I want to buy a tiger. It's not an all-day thing. It's an hour. I'll be right back with our tiger. And everybody wants to get rid of guns, and what makes me nervous is, like, if you took away guns from people, those are the exact same people that will buy tigers. And that's going to be a much bigger problem. You're probably going to be like, look, here's your gun back. And they're like, no, I'm good. My tiger is way better than my gun. My gun missed all the time. My tiger rarely misses. Even if he does miss, it's just for a second. It's never long. Like if some guy dodges the tiger and he's like, your dumb tiger missed, it's like, well, he did not. He is right behind you now. And he is furious. So thank you guys so much, man. You guys were great. Thank you.
He's so good. We are so good together, me and Nate. All right, that's going to have to do it for your Aftercast. As always, thanks for being a potty.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.